There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
Trying to save crypto off these devils. This is not about money. It's me. Trying to save crypto off these devils. This is not about money.
There is no second best. 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 There is no second best crypto asset. There is no second best. There is no second best. There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset. There is no second best. There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset. There is no second.
Meow.
There is no second best.
What? Oh no! What's happened?
There
What?
is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
Right. This is Jim's fault, isn't it? This is Jim's fault.
There is no second best crypto asset.
Fuck's
There is no
sake. Cheers, Jim, for the host or meow or whatever thing you've done. Welcome to the mental asylum for meowers. The meow.
There is no second.
Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Say meow to my little friend. There is no second best. Oh, is he popping up, is he?
There is no
Yes. If you hear there is no second best, it's because when someone follows the stream, Michael Saylor just chimes in and says there is no second best. So just in case you're thinking that you've gone insane, you might have done, but not because you're hearing me say that. Should we put some chilled tunes on? Which I've not set up before the stream because I was scalping, but I am absolutely exhausted. I don't know about you guys. How is everyone on this fine day, apart from meowing?
There is no second best crypto asset. There is no second best. There is no
The
second
sound's
best
mashed
crypto
up.
asset. There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
That sounds bad. Broke. There is no second best.
There is no second best crypto asset.
Need to turn Sailor off. Yeah, I might do.
There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
Sailor's a bit high. Well, apologies for Sailor.
There is no second best.
See if I can turn it
There
off
is
while
no
we're on
second best
stream.
crypto asset.
So yeah, no, genuinely, guys, like, as much as I start with laughing at Lammeow and all that kind of stuff,
There is no second best. There is no
I
second best
genuinely
crypto
hope
asset.
people are all right. I mean, this has been a absolutely wild few days.
There is no
Like,
second
I
best.
don't think I've slept
There is no
this,
second best crypto asset.
or this little
There
for,
is no second best.
well,
There
probably
is no
since my
second
daughter
best
was like,
crypto asset.
you know, firstborn. Billionaire degens screwing common people. Sad day for many. Yeah, no, it really is. You know, chatting to people in DMs who, as much as I sort of meme about the situation on Twitter to try and spread some smiles and make more light of it, there are people who have, you know, lost basically their entire net worth, what they've been working for years,
There is no second best crypto asset.
and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Was I partnered with FTX? No. I actually had a substantial chunk of my net worth on FTX, and I took it out about 4 days ago. So yeah, 9-figure people now looking for jobs, and that's the sad reality of it, right? Is that people who thought they were secure and thought they were safe are now kind of on the brink of poverty. You know, And people will say, oh, you know, it's their fault for not, you know, not taking profit, not cashing it out to the bank. The chart, yeah, here you go, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. Am I in cold storage or bank? So I ranted a lot. There's a very boring stream I did a couple of months ago about leverage, exchange rate risk, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. So I've got an amount of money in crypto, right? It's probably about, I don't know, 10, 15% of my net worth overall. But a lot of that's in stables, and a lot of that is spread across different exchanges. Now, I do have a bag of just random altcoins that I'm willing to hold forever and a day, like Rune, for example, which, you know, I could have sold at $20, and I've decided to back hold down to whatever it is now, but I don't even want to check the price. But yeah, you know, it's all well and good saying it all in hindsight, and as Jim was saying on his stream, that everyone comes out on days like this with the threads, right? You load up the thread and you go, oh guys, it's time to, you know, manage your risk, think about exchange rate risk and all that kind of shit. It's useless now. Well, maybe it's not useless. You know, there are probably some contagion risks still in the system from FTX and the situation that we find ourselves in, but you know, it's a little to no consolation to people who have just been fucked over by Alabama. But yes, are stables even safe? It's a good question. It's a good question. I mean, you know, personally, I've got a 50-50 split between USDT and USDC. And again, that's just my personal choice. It's just me, I guess, trying to hedge against potential any kind of death spirals in either of those. But there's systematic risk in everything, right? The chances of like money in my bank being secure. So I think the way it works in the UK is if you've got over like 85k or something like that, I think that's what they, the financial, I'm trying to think who it is. Sorry, I'm absolutely knackered, as you might be able to tell. That's what is essentially insured. So you can claim that back in the event of, you know, the bank's going under. But if you've, 75k is it? But if you've got, you know, $500,000 in your bank account, that's kind of no consolation. I mean, it's nice. 85k across each banking group. I thought it was limited per individual, but FSCS, yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it's kind of like if you've got substantial amounts of wealth, then there are risks everywhere. Oh look, Fred999's whacking it in the group. Lovely in the chat. Man, Jim's viewers are you guys are on it. Holding sterling is the biggest risk. Oh god, yeah. I mean, there's so much systematic risk in literally everything. You know, the global financial system is, I don't want to say on the brink of collapse. That sounds quite doomerish, but it's certainly showing its fragility, if that's even a word. Yeah, see what happened in Cyprus in 2013. They took all deposits over 100k and left you with 100k, no matter how much you had there. Yeah. Yeah, something like Greece, wasn't it? They just said, huh, your money. Yeah, that's gone. So, kind of nowhere's safe. But you can hold assets. You can buy some gold and silver, which is depreciating. You can buy some houses, which are slowly getting fucked. Not financial advice, dial, etc. So yeah, very cheery, guys. Very cheery and happy. Is anyone actually trading this out of interest? I have been pretty actively. To be honest, I'm coming on stream for a break. Round trip short entries, lovely. Trading FTT, lovely. Scalping Paradise, yeah. Gotta love these 10% 1 minute candles. Yeah, I mean, I was doing, let's see if I've still got it like vaguely here. I was trying to kind of illustrate the volatility earlier. Like, this is a 43 minutes and a 15-second chart. And, like, if you add all that up, it's got like 57-ish% up and down. It's absolutely mad. Tips on how to trade this? Entry, stop loss? Sure. We'll get to that. Scalping Bitcoin, sweating profusely. Well, I mean, at least that's exercise, right? Like, that's the upside of times like these. You know, you burn some calories. Tips on trading this? I mean, when you say trading this, what are you trading? Exercise for your heart. So, I mean, my personal, if you have to ask, don't. I like that. So my personal view at the moment is, like, we've had a pretty dramatic move. Lovely. Might go off the 15-second chart. Some of my trade plans are kind of still on here, evidently. Pretty useless. And I'm just going to do that. I'm basically going to just delete all my levels. I'm kind of at the point where the entire market is, on a knife edge. I think everyone's going to be looking at the same thing on BTC and just going like, we've basically had this range here for however long, months, and now we are breaking down from it, and I think this is the start of the final leg down, personally.
There's no second best crypto asset.
Yeah, if we, by some miracle, start pulling up and start to move up, great. I don't see that as... You tried so hard to refrain yourself from saying we're fucked. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't think, like... Well, maybe we are. So, like, laws of probabilities, right? So I am naturally very bullish on this space, right? I think it's genuinely one of the best innovations of, monetary, like, transfer of wealth, in terms of actually being able to invest in businesses, projects. To be an accredited investor is such a meme in real life. You have to have X amount of assets, you have to be of Y caliber, right? Transfer of wealth to Alabama, yeah. But I don't think anything offers that opportunity to accumulate wealth like crypto. I think the actual reality of crypto and the way that it's currently being handled is a pretty piss poor. So you look at DeFi, like DeFi is so innovative and could solve quite a few, how do I put it? The way it could solve some of the problems of the current financial system, or at least I believe it can. The blockchain technology in itself is open, transparent. So, why and how we've come to this centralized CEX environment, and CEX is in CEX, centralized exchange, where, none of the assets are transparent. You can't see their balance sheet. You can't see their liabilities. You let greed destroy it. Exactly, Elite Axel. Like, how we've come to that being kind of the best in class of a global exchange where the CEO of it represented us and our industry in front of Congress is just beyond fucked up, right? Beyond fucked up. And if this doesn't attract major regulatory scrutiny, I will be more than surprised. So yeah, I think, yeah, it's ironic because cryptographic proof of reserves could have shown an FTX shit earlier. That's exactly my point, which I've really inarticulated. Hey, man. Like, if it was CEX instead of CEX, it would be much more appealing, to be honest. I mean, we're getting fucked either way, right? So yeah, I mean, I am particularly bearish, which is completely fine to be, I think. I think Jim made a very good point on his stream that if you inverted this chart, people would be getting an absolute boner, I think his words were, and you would be saying, "Ray, we're breaking out. This is the next leg up." But for some reason, we're conditioned to think that no, Bitcoin's worth more than 17k, no, Bitcoin's worth more than 16k. You know, it's worth whatever someone at any point will pay for it. What if it's a deviation? Yeah, no, it could be. You know, if we do that, and then, you know, are you going to long a reclaim of this? Potentially, you know, deal goes through, everyone's happy again. You know, there are some major tradable events coming up. In my honest, humble opinion. Yeah, if on-chain CLOBs were better, I wouldn't need sexes. Yeah, the books are wafer thin, so you literally can't use them. Okay, and then 1929 style of companies with completely opaque finances, yet people still invest. Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, this is what I mean. It's like, as much as I sit and meme about all this stuff, I literally tweeted that. Zero thesis. I said, if you short FTT on FTX, but you can't withdraw it, did you even make money? It is just like genuinely upsetting to hear people, you know, who have either had their net worth on FTX or thought they've just made, you know, a huge amount of money and then had it like ripped from you. And this is what I mean, is like, I messaged Jim last night and said, I don't know how you held your resolve on App Only, which he did fantastic on, by the way. You know, shout out to Jim, absolute legend. You know, I don't think I could be in the same room or virtual or otherwise with Do Kwon, because just the damage that one person has done to so many people is just fucking beyond. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it takes a strange kind of psychopathic mentality. Yeah, he did call him a sociopath. I mean, he fucking is, right? And that Up Only episode was legendary as it is, pretty much every time. But particularly when Jim goes on it. Yeah. This might be the only cycle where you could have traded perfectly and be left with nothing. No, I don't think so. I mean, like, I think I've got 9 or so Bitcoin on Cryptopia. I'm not saying I traded that first cycle perfectly, but, you know, there were plenty of rugs before. I think the level of this rug, though, if it turns out to be a rug, let's be honest, like, there's still a chance that CZ acquires it or someone bails it out and customers are replenished and all of that kind of stuff. So let's not completely write that off. Right?
There is no second
because
best.
it could happen.
There is no second
So,
best crypto.
you know, I'm not trying to spread hopium, but equally I'm not trying to spread, you know, relentless fear and doubt. Because, yeah, until it's a hard no, there's still the possibility of it going through. But yeah, I mean, the audacity of it all, to be honest, is just beyond. Yeah, he did sit there quite smug. If you had it on one exchange, yeah.
There is no second best. There is no
Jim
second
showed us
best
your
crypto
KCD indicator. Want to say some words about it? Yeah, it's an indicator, boys. It's great. You can acquire it for free. It's not any form of. What would be the point in acquiring FTX? Yeah, I mean, I actually thought Gainsey made a really interesting point where you can go sort of full due diligence for $1 and look under the hood and then go, nah, we don't want that. There's the link to the Keltner bands. Let's see, because I've got fucking loads of indicators. Maybe I'll do an indicator stream at some point. Oh, wow, 1,300 people have got these. So yeah, I think Jim shared his settings. Hopefully you know what Keltner bands are. They're just looking for extremes of price movements. That's it. And typically, standard kind of system would be if you start getting, let's go on a reasonable. If you start getting like divs, no. If you start getting divs in, I'm on inverse chart, lovely. If you start getting divs in areas of, you know, the extremes, then that's where you, let's have a look. So like up here, for example. That's kind of tradable. That's the thought process generally. Charlie really is the goat in the shadows. Yeah, I mean, I'm not, but a lot of people say that I should stop fucking memeing on Twitter and actually go back to trading content. But it's just so much more fun, generally. How do you make the indicators? You literally just, it's down here, Pine Editor, and you just write some Pine script. The best way to do it, to be honest with you, is find the kind of script that you want. There are loads of public ones that have like open source code, and then you just tweak and use that. So yeah, it's quite easy. That was my CHZ plan, which actually, low-key, I shorted it about here and got absolutely fucked. And then it went and did that. Oh yeah, there we go. Just remove all this shit. Because none of it matters anymore. RSI's default, mate. So yeah, should we talk about trading? Should we talk about some general trades? Or should we just meme about the market? My meme's a 10 out of 10. Thank you very much. Hello, too hard for beginner. Fucked. So I mean, I personally can't do anything at the moment apart from just scalp low time frame. That's literally it. Bear with me 1 second. And all I'm trying to do is just catch very, very quick rotations. I am in one small position at the moment, which I'm just looking where the screen might have to close. But yeah, if you're trading these conditions, so I started making the point on Sol actually, didn't I? I'll go back to Sol because let's do some quote unquote tips. So for a start, I think you've got to realize what you're dealing with, right? You're dealing with very, very volatile market conditions. And if you think you're going to load up an account with 100% of your account balance, up the leverage, and make it all back in one trade, you are very, very fucking wrong, right? I sincerely doubt anyone is going to do that, right? But these conditions do offer a lot of volatility, and there is quite a lot of participation in books. So from my perspective, it's been a really good 48 hours. I don't want to rub it in for anyone, you know, who's actually had a shit 48 hours, but it's, you know, it's been very good, hence why I'm absolutely exhausted. And I guess my tips would be, 1, stay the fuck away from leverage, because this market is literally leveraged up to the tits by virtue of the volatility, right? So, you know, when you're getting moves like this on a 15-second fucking chart, like, I don't even know what to say. Like, if we go down to the 1 second, like, what was that? Like 30 seconds, you're getting 2.2%. Yeah, tick scalping. Senpai knows. Senpai knows. But look what just happened in front of us. That literally just went bosh. So the volatility is there, right? And Sol's potentially a bad example because it's spot on FTX. So volatility is great. However, if you are trading with large position sizes and you are you enter here. Let's do a mean position and just go, right, I'm going to do this. Okay, that's my trade. Let's ignore triggers and everything like that, right? I'm just going to do it based off whatever 1 second dodgy candles. By the time your stock market actually gets tagged down here, there is a good chance that the market has moved slightly and you get slipped even more than what you anticipated. So, you are taking quite a lot of risk on just by participating in these conditions. Now, that's not me saying don't do it. It's just be aware of these, of this environment post-move. Now, you can start talking about funding and short squeezes and yada, 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 and, looking at news events. So, CZ coming out and saying that I'm going to adopt Solana and we're going to integrate it with BNB or something like that, versus the Sol unlock. Yeah, it's all good points, right? So there's going to be, the market is, or I find that in times like these, highly volatile conditions, the market's on a knife edge. So if a fly farts and that fly is wearing a Solana, hat, a mango cap, then something is going to happen on the Solana chart. Basically, it's very sensitive. Imagine your wife, on those sort of 2, maybe 3 days a month, where everything you say is wrong. Yeah, that's kind of my view on the market right now. Man, Sol's going to die? Potentially. So every day. You mean 27 to 30 days? Yeah, maybe. That's every day. Oh, God. Here we go. Charlie the marriage counsellor. Let's roll. Well, maybe that's what I can do when crypto gets regulated and I'm not allowed to own it anymore. What the fuck is Doge doing?
There is no second best. There is no second
Why is
best.
Doge green? Ah, perfect. Better than selling beds. So funding on Binance is minus 1.5%. Jesus. Oh, there was some guy. Oh, I'm trying to remember who it was in one of my Paragon streams, and he said, "Your voice is so nice, I would buy a Hoover off you." I was like, I think that's the nicest compliment anyone's ever given me. Funding on Solana minus 2.5% on Nance. Ah, it was Gussel. Yeah. It stuck with me, evidently. So, everyone needs a Hoover, exactly. So yeah, if it doesn't work out, I can be a Paragon. A Paragon? I can be a Hoover salesman. Also, I was just reading chat. It's actually quite difficult to multitask when you're brutally tired. And yeah, Charlie's going to be sponsored by Dyson or Henry. Mate, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Henry Hoovers. Obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. Every time we went into town, like, this is a boring story, but I'm going to say anyway, with my mum, when I was like 3 years old, we had to go and see the Henry Hoovers. So there's a little tidbit for you. So it'd definitely be Henry, not Dyson. That guy's something redacted. How much is the Paragon? It's $150 a month. I know. Paid group leader scum. Do you share trading process and live trades? So we share trading processes and setup. So like all this kind of stuff. We do a weekly overview to start the week, like what we're looking for, triggers, all that kind of wonderful stuff. We're both trying to record live trading sessions. The problem for me at the moment is because I use like multiple things. So I use this, I use TradingView, I use CryptoWatch, I use a couple of other bits and pieces. It's quite hard to get like that many screens all on one nice recording, because I'll be like, oh, look at this over here, oh, look at that over there, right? And it just doesn't really work whilst trying to trade. So we're trying to find a way around that. that makes sense. Maybe it's like record all 4 screens. But yeah, so structurally, I'm not looking at levels on anything in particular, really. I think all I want to do in the short to medium term is just play rotations and just try and look for what's strong, what's actually being traded. So if any of you haven't used it before, there's this wonderful website called Scalper Scanner, which just shows you literally what is being traded. So Sol, FTT, where's CHZ? Because I've been trading that quite a lot. It's not up here today. Oh yeah, there it is. This is very good just to show you where A, volatility, and B, number of trades, and C, volume are. So you can use this. It's free. It's just a public resource. I think VKTR made it with Trader Samwise and a couple of others. Yeah, Victor. What am I trading now? I'm currently in a CHZ short, which is about to get run over, I think. But it's, you know, not massive size. I traded with size yesterday and did quite well, so I am fairly euphoric, even though I sound like probably someone who's on the verge of depression. It's because I'm excruciatingly tired. Have I ever used InSilico Terminal? I did. I put like a $10 position on with so my entire trading balance with InSilico Terminal. But I've got this really bad trust issue where I just don't like the notion of other people like having my API keys and all that kind of stuff, even if it's read only. So I want to build my own terminal. And, you know, I can code. I can't code brilliantly. I'm definitely not one of the best coders in the space and all that kind of crap. But, yeah, I'd rather just build it myself and not kind of rely on others. Now, you know, I know someone who used a well-known execution terminal, and because of some error in it, he lost about 250k. Yeah, just third-party risk. I mean, we've just fucking seen, right? Third-party risk. Like, we've literally spent the last week talking about third-party risk. Yeah, your keys are client-side. Yeah, 100%. When you're using InSilico. It's... Yeah, and Quantower. So I know, like, Magus, who I run the group with, Magus uses Quantower, and he swears by it. It's just... Yeah. You know, you give them read-only access. Sorry, you don't. You do give them write access to your trades. So in theory, someone could execute in your account. So, you know, if you were a very malicious dev, you could find a very low cap shitcoin and in theory make me buy it with my balance. Execute those orders. Yeah, it's like the Jedi, isn't it? Execute order 66 and then bang. Or whatever it was. If you make a terminal for public use. No, this is the thing, is I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be in a position where other people's funds, money, etc., in my hands. Order 66, yeah, I thought it was. There's no need for it for me. Do you know what I mean? Ichiban has a server-side session, yeah. What are the chances? Ooh, that's a really good question. The odds for FTX customer funds to have a happy ending. I don't know, to be honest. I mean, it's the chance of them having a happy ending is greater than 0. right? There is a chance. There is a probability. We just don't know how high that is. Like personally, I think it's probably like 10%. And I say that because I don't know. It's just my impression. My impression, and you hear all these rumors, don't you? Like, I've got people messaging me saying that this is the big, this is like 10 times 3AC contagion. But we don't know the facts. We just don't know. Is the hole on their balance sheet, 10 billion? Is it 5? Is it 1? Is it? No one knows. Brian's comment scares you? Oh, what, as in Coinbase aren't interested in the acquisition? I think, well, I don't know. To be honest, I've been quite busy actually trading. I think I would have thought that the problem there comes in with like competition markets authority type gigs where maybe they would then own too much of the market share. And yeah, you don't know who else is in fact wrecked from FTX. What's the damage? How many other people? How many funds? How many projects? What kind of DeFi degeneracy were they doing? Like, I don't know. Oh, volume profile. To be honest, I just use it for a bit of confluence with levels. It's nothing particularly exciting. I've got an absolute ton of indicators. I turn them off for these streams because, they're I just do. Someone asked about trending stuff earlier, and honestly, just stick an EMA on stuff. 33 EMA. Oh, that's 10. EMA is usually quite good. Stuff like that. Really, nothing too complex. Anyone able to reach Phoenix.com? I don't know, mate. Oh, I don't really feel like going into a big Paragon show, mate. It's kind of not the time. If you've got some questions, just drop me a DM on Twitter. I'm not gonna sit here and shield the group. It's pretty cringe at this point in time. With the next big players, they're going to tip over. Yeah, I don't know, and that's the thing, and I, the only way that there's an advantage in knowing that is if they are connected to projects, and you can then short that shit to zero. But to be honest with you, the impact will be market-wide if it is something big again. Aptos Stargate funding not going to go great. Yeah. The volume profile thing is literally just called VRVP. Yeah, man. I mean, my DMs are open, guys. Like, as much as people meme about it on Twitter, like, I respond to my DMs as long as they're not, hello, sir, can I have some free money? Do you think these are good coins to hold for 100x returns? That kind of shit. Like, I honestly don't think... that there's a point in being on Twitter if you're not going to interact with people, right? So, can I have some money? Yeah, of course you can. How much e-begging do you get? A fucking lot. Like, and you get people asking, or people trying to just shill you shit. Like, click this link. How about fuck off? It's my DMs are an absolute shit show if you look at the ones that are in the CSM feed pick. No one's actually asked for that, bizarrely. That's not a cue for you to do it. Ask Jim for feed pics. He's doxed. He'd probably do it. What's your answer to if you made money trading, why does he have a paid group? I mean, it's kind of the eternal old question, isn't it? If you make money trading, why have a paid group? So there's a lot to that. More money. So, well, I'll just tell you. So before I did this, I ran a business, and this was way back in like 2015-16. So I enjoyed aspects of that business, like interacting with people, like growing a business, like developing processes, and yeah, like it's just say you like teaching. Yeah, that's probably it. But building something, you know, beyond just a Twitter brand, and seeing people, like, we've only ever had good feedback. So, alright, I'm just kind of shitting the group now. That's pretty cringe. But we put a lot of effort into it, and you know, if you really think that we were out there to get the money, like, I get offers from people to shill fucking garbage, like, every single day. If I wanted money, I would take 5, 10, 20 grand payments, right, from Dodge come Inu 69, who want me to go, oh, can you put this next to your ship tweet? We'll pay you 20k. No, fuck off. Yeah. So purpose as well. Like, I'll tell you one thing, like, trading gets fucking lonely, and trading gets, like, it's great to see your number go up in bank and all that kind of wonderful stuff, but sharing ideas, thought processes, and having people value that, you can't really replicate that. Yes, there's a barrier to entry. Why charge for it? Why charge for it? Because I ran a free Discord. I ran a free Discord for a year, and you don't know the fucking pain of dealing with idiots who just want their ass wiped for them. Right? And I was a fool for not, like, charging anything or doing anything, you know, asking for anything in return, to be honest with you. But there you go. Yeah, no, I backed Plutus, and that's because I went to buy a PC. I couldn't even use my own fucking money. Bro got one guide. Let's move on. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're always going to have those people, aren't you? But I don't think I've ever given that rant on stream, so... Can I offer a discount? Maybe. Why do I love Rune? So Rune was one of the first movers in a space that is now, you know, in kind of the whole bridge space. And the idea being that it was completely decentralized, and you can swap between any chain, non-synthetic assets, and you can essentially stake them and earn rewards. And the meme, the elevator pitch with Rune, I'm going to check the chart and really depress myself, was that the way that value worked, deterministic value, is that it would be 3 times TVL. So total value locked in Rune the market cap for Rune would be 3 times that. So, you know, invariably, like, if the whole of crypto goes up and there are assets, okay, I'm going to draw again. If all of crypto goes up and there are assets staked in Rune that also go up, and then Rune is 3 times the total value locked, and more value is being added to the Thor chain, or being added to Thor chain, then you've got the kind of, basically, it's like a leveraged bet on the whole of crypto. That's why I was bullish on it. But to be very clear, I'm still bullish on it, but I still really like the concept. But, you know, am I buying it here? If I say no, then it's going to do this, isn't it? But no, I'm not. I've got a spot bag, and I'm happy with that bag. I was happy holding it here I was happy holding it here. I was happy holding it here. But I did buy it at 33 cents or something like that, and I took a lot off, like up here, and yeah. I think I took some off up there. But yeah, not all of it. So yeah, that was always my, you know, it was definitely a bag that I married, but I'll be honest with you, there's kind of a strange balance that you've got to get. So everyone wants the 100x or the million x return, right? But when you put, let's say you put $10,000 in Rune, right? And let's say it goes 10x, you've now got $100,000. And if $100,000 is a lot of money to you, you know, what are you going to do? Are you essentially going to take that off and put it back on the table? You know, if you had $100,000 in your bank account, would you be rushing to buy Rune at, like, let's say it was here? Like, would you be rushing to buy it there? Or would you be like, oh, fuck, this is a parabola, right? I need to get my $100,000 out. Like, it's quite a hard psychological battle. I'm not saying that was my case, because what I'd actually done was I was so bullish on Rune that I had target levels that were, like, wild. And one of them was $100, which we never got to. Not even close. So, you know, I had a very clear, predetermined plan, and I managed to get a lot out, even up to here. And it was a lot of dollars to me personally. Now, you can make a judgment as to whether that was $5 or $5 million. I don't really give a fuck. But it was, you know, it was a great one for me. You squeeze in a wee. Oh. Meh. Not particularly exciting. Is my revenge short safe? Just about. No, I didn't make 5 million from Rune. I made $5. $5. Oh yeah. Okay, you talk about potential last leg down ETA. Now, this is the kind of stuff that like I just don't like doing, because I will tell you, for newer people in the stream, I guess, there was, you know, there's CPI print, there's CPI tomorrow, and what I did once is I went like this, and I was like, okay, so CPI print is, CPI print's there, let's say. So I said, okay, well, I think price is going to do this. I think it's then going to go like that, and then like that. And somebody shorted there and liquidated their entire account, and what actually happened was price went like that and just fucking ran. So when you say things like that, and if I said, oh, I think, you know, we've got one more leg down, I think Bitcoin's going to go down 10%, and I think that'll be the bottom. Like, to me, that's, you know, fucking useless information, because it doesn't really tell you how to then execute off that, or why your thought process is what it is, right? I've just pulled some garbage out of my ass. Now, if you start looking at moves and you start going, okay, well, you know, how painful was this? %38 from, you know, prior range low. Are we going to see similar now? Because there's quite a lot of absorption at the moment. You know, we're nowhere near that kind of leg down. We're nowhere near sort of brutal capitulation. Yeah, okay. We're down sort of 20% off the highs. But yeah, I completely agree with Jim. And if you were looking at this from an inverse perspective, you would just say that this structure is bullish. Which, you know, in real terms is bearish, and you would expect that continuation to the downside. Would you think Bitcoin perp is a long up at 17,400? Yes, this is inverted. So what I'm saying is that here you've got a series of higher lows, and you would normally say, well, that's bullish market structure. So expect continuation. But obviously, this is an inverted chart. If big players get liquidated, it can take some time for that to unfold. Are there way more people around crypto at this point in the bear market? I don't know where it's going to go down to, just to be very, very clear. Like, I've got absolutely fuck all clue. And I don't want to just generate arbitrary targets out of my ass, which is what a lot of people do. Now, what I want to do is, or what I will be doing, and what I want to see is... No, don't apologize, it's fine. Like, what I want to see is, I want to see further downside, because I think this is like an initiation move for the next leg down. And then I would want to see essentially accumulation. So just a very narrow range where there's very little participation. Everything's fucking dead on Twitter, Bitcoin's dead, yada yada yada. And there's nothing, and maybe I can be encouraged by some spot. I'm more likely buying spot on a breakout and some form of strength on a range. So I bought spot.
There is no second
where was it?
There is no
I'm gonna get this wrong probably. Lerwin might be able to correct me. I think it was there, maybe.
There is no second best. There is no second.
So I bought spot up here because I liked the strength. I liked that we were breaking out, and I had a really clear invalidation under here.
There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
How long would you ideally want to see this accumulation for? It's not really a length of time. I mean, I guess it would be a few months, but I don't have like a, oh, it has to be this, it has to be that. I ditched that spot. So that's what I'm saying is I think my trade was something like this. I'd effectively take the highs and just consolidate. Consolidate up here. Would you say the accumulation range? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I want this to be a trending move, and I'm just going to play scalps on lower time frame in between. Like, do I want to be buying spots heavily now? No. Did I want to be buying spot heavily 3 weeks ago? No. Like, it's just, I don't think it's the right conditions to be doing it, both from a macro perspective and, you know, wonderful, he's talking macro. We'd kind of switched the macro conversations off, a lot of people thought, but it's still there. It's still in the background.
There is no second best. There is no second best.
Soccer narrative? I mean, yeah, it can do whatever the fuck it wants. But, I mean, like,
there is no second best crypto asset.
One thing I'd encourage you guys to do, and this is a lot of how I look at the markets, right? I use this chart. I use the spaghetti chart, which I will paste in again because I know somebody's going to fucking ask it. So you've got a narrative, right? You've got a thought process that says, oh, I think, you know, CHZ is going to be really strong because of the World Cup narrative, yada, 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 despite the fact that the market is shitting the bed. Let me just tell you one thing, that there is very, very rarely any crypto that stands outside of the very simple beta wave of Bitcoin and the market as a whole. And if it is, it's usually in a liquid shitcoin. And what I mean by that is Bitcoin goes up and Bitcoin goes down, right? Let's just assume it does that. Your shitcoin is almost certainly going to do this, right? It's going to go up and down more than BTC, but pretty much in line with it. As you can see from everything here, you know, the entire market has just traded in exactly the same. Look at that. Pretty much everything, right? So that's what you're trading. So it doesn't matter what narrative you've got, but CHZ, you can objectively say, is one of the stronger performers. Okay, Sol is better than it, but do you really want to trade Sol? Can you handle that level of volatility? Mask, pretty illiquid, I think. Actually, no, it's on Binance, isn't it? That's why I can't trade it. We've got Doge. I doubt Doge is particularly... Oh no, it's up there. Excellent. So yeah, but does that mean I'm going to buy CHZ spot? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What's my low time frame scout preference? 5-3, 1 minute. Think lower. I mean, I'm in trades for... I'm in trades for anywhere between, a few, well, probably a minute and like an hour and a half. The link only allows you to look at 15-second chart. Yeah, so when you get the link, you should be able to copy it up here. There should be a copy chart or copy layout, and you can copy that and you can save it. And then if you've got TradingView Premium, which I think is about $400 or something like that. But yeah, actually make an alert, guys, because you can get TradingView Premium on Black Friday, usually for about 60 to 80% off. So it's well worth doing. And it's well worth, yeah, getting it on Black Friday. Because it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, I think you need the Pro version or whatever it is, or the Premium. I don't know, can't remember which, to get the 1 second chart. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, it's definitely worth it. Black Friday ledger deal. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, in the meantime, like, I'm just happy to scout both ways. If it moves, then I can scalp it, and I'm just in and out on rotations, and that's kind of it. I'm not looking to swing short here. If we get a massive short squeeze, then yeah, potential for me to fade it. But I'm quite happy taking lower time frame trades. You don't always have to be directionally biased in this market to make money. You don't have to be like, right, it's definitely going up. I mean, I let's try and think of something. Yeah, I was looking at a trigger on Doge to get long, on the assumption that we continued a relatively strong move up, and I think this is at the time where like CHZ was still ripping higher and blah blah blah. I anticipated something like this and wanted to get long. Break of this little range, meme trend line, and then you probably would have seen this version of a chart everywhere on Twitter. Get some relative strength on this chart here for Doge, and then that's kind of like tick tick tick. Let's start building a position, but it didn't happen. So theory or plan didn't play out. No trade. That's half of my life, it feels like. I did a thread on it ages ago when I actually sort of gave a shit about Twitter, called Planning and Patience, I think it was, and it was all about like letting the opportunities come to you and setting alerts and all that kind of wonderful stuff, which I think all my alerts are pretty much gone. Yeah, because they've all been triggered.
There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
Hey. When I talk about rotations, that's like the edge to edge of a range. No. When I talk about rotations, what I mean is this meme that I was drawing earlier with like BTC. So one rotation down, kind of meh rotation, rotation up, rotation down, rotation up. So it's not quite in line with the pivots. But what I mean is a trending move. And this is an exaggeration because obviously that the market might do this, and it might even do that. But I'm talking about trying to capture that and that. That's a lot of how I trade at the moment. No, it does involve ranges. It does involve trying to filter this load of crap into a couple of charts where you can where you can actually develop some entries, exits, and all that kind of wonderful stuff. And more importantly, invalidation to your trade thesis. So, for example, if you have Doge as it was here the other day, and you have a meme line, and you have a potential breakout trigger on a low time frame range, and you then have relative strength, and then for me that's kind of like it is a breakout trade, but it's a tick to start getting on board. Does that make sense? That's one of the main ways I like to play these conditions. Looks like Doge is going for it. Speak of the devil. Is everyone on stream just aping in? And then that's pivots, just default settings. And what they do is they just literally highlight for you the bottom of a Bitcoin rotation. And it's always very easy to see it in hindsight and be like, oh, that's the top performer. But what you often get is you can see, I'm going to just color like mask. What I'm always looking for is ones that start moving outside of like this average. Because you got to think if everything's moving like that, and then one does this, you kind of want to pay attention to what that is. Thanks, got a Doge an hour ago. Nice. Do I bring volume profile into my trading system? Not particularly. I use it as complements just for levels, just when I'm looking at this. So you can, so Magus, for example, uses like TPO, order profile, and that kind of gubbins. I just use it to go, are my lines kind of reasonably drawn? And if you start moving outside of value, so for example there, you've actually got quite a inefficient move up. So it would be reasonable to assume that there's not going to be much there to support that. Yeah, maybe there's something down here. But yeah, that's all I use it for, to basically check that I'm drawing things right. Max is 20? Nah, Max is 110, I think, because I did one of these for all of Binance, and TradingView said no. They basically said, you're killing our servers. So, yeah, not allowed, unfortunately. But yeah, it's definitely more than 20. I mean, I've got 41. You feel like meme coins are going to have time the sun for a bit? Peak absurdity. I mean, I like the theory, but for me, yeah, maybe. I mean, Doge is pretty high on this rotation, which is odd. But then it's very high beta, so why is that not popping up? I don't want to colour all of them, so I just don't want orange, do I? Sorry, this is like my peak autism coming in now. You will watch me change the colours of these. What fantastic entertainment. I hope you tune in again next week for such wonderful colouring in. You're so depressed. Oh man, don't say that.
There is no second best.
Were you part of
There's no second best crypto asset.
FTX? Bitcoin just hit 19.3 on FTX. Oh my god. Ooh, what is this? What is this clown market, man? Jesus wept. There's going to be bots and stuff that use it as a part of their index and probably trigger off it and do all sorts, aren't there? Christ. It's just when you think things kind of can't get any more ridiculous, this market just never fails to impress me. Just close this bullshit liquidation platform. Yeah. Maybe it's like you're dreaming. I mean, it sounds like a nightmare if you're depressed, mate. If I'm honest. And but real talk for a minute. Like, I'm gonna get off my happy horse for a minute, and I'll just tell you that in 2017-18, I went through a sort of quite serious period of depression, and part of that, there were a lot of things that went into it, to be honest with you. But part of that was the fact that I lost quite a significant sum of money on crypto. So, and what I did, which was the worst thing I could have possibly done, was I completely bottled it up. I didn't really talk to anyone. I didn't really talk to my friends, my family, my wife didn't know quite how I felt about it all. I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm fine. With a 60% haircut. We were all financially fine. It wasn't like we were broke or anything like that. No, far from it. I was relatively sensible during that period anyway, and I had more than enough to carry on with for at least a few years. We were in quite a, quite a good position at that point. So yeah, despite all of that, I still took it really badly mentally, and it affected me, really, really badly. So I went through a pretty shit period of depression, and I would just encourage people that are going through that kind of process to open up. If you don't feel like doing it, to someone find friends on here. I'm not offering my counselling services or anything like that, but just know that like a lot of people have been through it, and the best thing I think that you can do, in all honesty, is just tell people if you've lost, a lot of money that means a lot to you. So yeah, I don't know if that's actually just a boring story or it's kind of helpful for people, but yeah, I think a lot of people have gone through the same, and that doesn't make it any easier, not belittling other people's experiences or belittling how people are feeling, in this moment right now. Like, not at all. Just want to crawl and go to the corner. This is what I mean. It's like, this is the genuinely like depressing side of everything that's happened, is that people have gone to work and, sorry, potentially people have had, months, years worth of essentially work and time. So I view money as time. Money is, an exchange of freedom, essentially. So if you have all the money in the world, you can do whatever the hell you like with your time. You can be wherever you want to be, whenever you want to kind of be there. So, that's kind of what what has been taken from people who have worked, well, potentially worked hard for it. So yeah, our health is definitely most important, and it's hard. You lose perspective when something big and dramatic has happened. Human brains are weird. Yeah, the big loss is far more memorable than the big wins. Yeah. Can I be your mentor? I don't really do one-on-one mentorship, to be honest. Can we invert RSI like we can the charts? Potentially. I've never done it. Yeah, you can. Fair enough. CryptoClass 2013. Made and lost all a couple of times. It can be tiresome. Christ, man. That is... Whew. Yeah, that is a lot. Did we survive? Yes, we did. Excellent. See, it said sure, it's still going. Lost 95% this year. Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me is having a plan. And it sounds really fucking boring. That's because it is. It is really boring. But if you want to treat this like a business and you want to make it last, then you kind of need a plan. And, a question I ask people who want to be quote unquote successful is, okay, so how are you going to pay taxes on it? And 90% of people don't even know how they're taxed on crypto gains. And I'm like, okay, so you clearly haven't thought about, one, the notion that you're actually going to make money from this, two, how to prepare yourself for it, like legally, from a tax perspective, how you're going to record it all. And that always, to me, just shows, like, well, you clearly haven't fucking put any effort in, have you? Like, at all. Because you should know what you are paying, like, what tax you are potentially liable for. And then you can go down to the level of, well, how can you structure it better for you? Now, I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, when you start thinking about things like that, it shows that, you're going, oh, well, actually, yeah, if I do this, if I spend $1,000, registering a company, doing X, Y, Z, and setting it up like this, yeah, go to Portugal, boating accident, whatever. Yeah. Go to a non-KYC site. But yeah, my Bybit referlink is below. I actually, genuinely switched over to Bybit about 4 or 5 days ago. And it's been a dream. I'm really annoyed that I didn't do it sooner. Because Sam and Caroline have had their fun with my asshole for a while. I think it's on the stream, isn't it? Don't know, I could be wrong. But yeah, no, I had an absolute joy trading it yesterday. Or trading on there, rather. Let's have a peep. Oh, my thing didn't update. Wonderful. Yeah, Bybit's great. I was literally spamming CHZ order books yesterday. Oh, God screwed hard on this. Genuinely wonder what we're saying. Sorry, I missed a couple of messages. Genuinely wonder what happens to people who have put money aside for taxes. Yeah, you get fucked. And if you lose it all on FTX, you're fucked. So what happens is you create a cash flow problem for yourself. And this is what I mean, is let's say your portfolio runs up like this, and this is the end of the tax year, and you've got like 1 million in gains, right? 1 million with shitty arrows. Now, you go along here, boom, rugged. You still fucking owe tax on that 1 million. Great system you've got. And I'm sure there are extenuating circumstances in different countries. But yeah, you end up with essentially a tax liability and no cash to settle that tax liability. Which is why when I'm talking to people about like how interested they are in trading, then if that happened to me, I'd go to jail for 5 years. Yeah. And this is it. Like this is like, if you haven't thought about this, then you're not planning for success. If you're not planning for success, how the fuck can you be successful? I don't understand it, but then I'm highly like autistic in terms of planning and being thorough. So yeah, that might just be me. But yeah, if you're not planning for success, failure to plan is planning to fail. If you're starting learning, where should you start? So I mean, it depends on your level, to be honest. There's loads of great like resources that are free. Like if you know what kind of trader you want to be, and you know that does your exchange tell the tax guys how much money you got? No, I think it's non-KYC. But I like it. That's a good That's a good good view. So yeah, Real Zeke has suggested some good channels. I think if you know what kind of trader or investor or whatever you want to be, then you can probably like find a couple of people or a couple of resources that are free and effective. So if you want to be a high time frame swing trader, then pick a couple of people. There's a really good baseline course from CryptoCred, whose tutorials, Points just said it actually, whose stuff's really, really good. It's very clear and effective, and actually Magus, who I run the Paragon with, he says that when his friends say, right, I want to be a crypto trader, let's go, he says the first thing that he tells people to do is go and watch all of Cred's videos, because it runs down loads of the basics. What is support and resistance, like what is drawing lines on charts, why do they exist, what's a price at, what's a candle, what's it showing you. So it's all a lot of basic stuff. There's some better stuff in there as well than just that, but CryptoCred does a brilliant job of breaking it down. And 90% of the people that come to him and say, oh, I want to be a crypto trader, won't even watch Cred's videos. So they won't sit and watch like 8 hours of great content that breaks down like years of experience, not just Cred's but other people's, into a really digestible format. I'm shilling it, but I think it's genuinely really good, and I watched it all. I was obsessed with it. I watched it start to finish. But this is when I first started going, right, I'm going to take this seriously, which was the start of like 2018, or maybe mid-2018 actually. And I was like, right, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I need to just scrap all this. I need a plan. I need to go through it. And yeah, it was a good place to start. If you haven't taken profit on CFD, then I'm not giving tax advice, mate. Fucking hell. Like, stream can be boring enough. Talking tax. We just had some, major dramatic events, and I'm back talking tax. Oh, what am I doing? Should be watching it again, really. So if rug pull, then it's okay, or am I missing something? This is not tax advice. I'll charge you $20,000 an hour if you want some specific tax advice. I did mention tax. I know, 1 billion trader. So frog pull, then it's okay. It's not okay if you make $1 million. If you make $1 million in 1 year, and then it rug pulls, right? You have a tax liability in this year that you have to pay for with money that you no longer have. And I don't know, you will have to come to some form of agreement with the tax authorities and prove that you got rugged, I imagine. I feel sad, Charlie. Is it over? They're a smurf. Oh. Was I a tax accountant? No. Come on. I've got slightly more personality than a tax accountant, I'd like to think. I say slightly. I mean slightly. Is it over? The Vids can't teach the emotion, which is the hardest obstacle to overcome. Yeah, I think so. I think that's definitely one of the hardest battles that I had to go through, was the psychology of it all. Buy when you feel like you want to puke, yeah. What's my thoughts on BTC? More down. We're not done yet, I don't think. Could be a deviation. I mean, we got CPI and stuff tomorrow. Like, I genuinely think that equities risk off today. Probably tomorrow going into CPI. So if there's any correlation left, I doubt this moves up, and I'm not willing to take a punt here. Even though we're starting to form a little bit of a... That's not really a div, is it? Pretty fucked. It's not looking good, bruv. Yeah, I'm not willing to punt this for even a reversion play. I'm just preferring the cheap hooker strategy in and out. In and out, fully protected. Is UK tax man forgiving? I don't know, mate. Find out when we... What was my past job? So I was... How do I not give it all away? I was an accountant. I had a business, and I sold said business and I had money to invest and I chose crypto with a small percentage of it. You seriously expecting a bounce? No, that's literally what I just said. Like, there's divs, but I'm not taking a position in this for it to play out in some form of mean reversion strategy or anything like that. I just think we slow grind down, probably. So you are an accountant? Kind of, yes. I was. What's your view on spot grid trading? I don't. You're an accountant? Do you like cold-blooded chiller? Me and him have got beef, mate. Big beef. No, we haven't really. Yeah, man. I used to play games with them. Me, Magus, CBS, UB. Yeah, he stays up till ridiculous times in the morning, and yeah, plays games. In fact, it was his group that I joined back in 2018, and because I saw he was like the most disciplined trader that out of all the people that I followed on Twitter, and yeah, that was one of the things that obviously contributed to me changing from a degenerate twat gambling on shitcoins to actually, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it. You think, how do you do it with 2 kids? Well, got a wife as well. I mean, I think it's just one of those things, like, if you've got a partner that understands what you do, like, my wife bought up steak and a bottle of wine last night, so yeah, I basically told her that today's one of those days. I was like, check the BBC and have a look. And she's like, oh, fuck, yeah, that seems pretty big. And I'm like, yeah, it is. This is what I was talking about. And, yeah, it's big. So, I guess you just work through it and you support each other and all that kind of wonderful stuff. You think market will start to trade differently with Alameda Direct? Yeah, it might be less PvP. It might actually be fucking easier. Charlie, I bought MLT after you tweeted about it. I'm down 50%. Ah, fuck. I hate, this is what I mean. It's like, I hate talking about projects or even like charts, even sharing charts. Like, I'm sure there was someone who looked at that Doge thing the other day and went, right, well, I'm going to go all in on 100x leverage and just make it all back in one trade. Do you know what I mean? Like, I fucking delete that shit now. But, well, I'm sorry to hear it, man, but, like, yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, my family's pretty understanding. Got off all responsibilities last night. Yeah, man, I haven't done bedtime for like 2 nights. It's been great. I did take my daughter to school this morning though, because I don't think she knew who I was. So I thought I better, you know, spend at least 5 minutes with her. Even though she walked into the playground and said, my daddy called me stupid. I was like, no, I didn't. Fucking liar. I called someone who was driving like an idiot stupid. And she thought I was talking to her. Bless her. Yeah, she's cheeky. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably done now, lads. Yeah, maybe that's a bit of a harsh response, seeing it written back. No, I didn't, you fucking liar. Just bang, beat her around the head. No, I'm joking. I'd never batter my child. Christ, how's this evolved? Oh dear. They associate with gambling and don't like to hear you lose. Yeah, and that's it. I think a lot of the things, a lot of people fail, I think, because they cannot take the loss, right? And so I know that I shorted CHZ, and I know that I am, let's see my entry. Where are we at? 0.17. Or 0.197. Christ, it'd be pretty bad if it was 0.17, wouldn't it? Fuck me, I shorted here, boys. I know that if it goes up to X, I am willing to lose $4, right? That's it. That's my $4 gone. And I accept that. I accept that as I go into the trade because I think this is cooked, okay? And I'm paying essentially $4 to take that trade. And that's it. Like, it's paid. It's done. If it returns with something, wonderful. It's like you've got a bunch of sticks and you're fucking throwing them and hoping it's a boomerang, right? You've got to accept that you've got to throw it. Like, you've got to take that risk. And people don't ever seem to want to lose. And I get it. It's completely, human psychology. People do not want to lose. But if you're not predefining your risk and saying, okay, it gets to here, that's where I close, and this is going to cost me $4, well, like, what? Are you going to be the best trader in the world and have like 100% win rate? Like all those other people that have 100% win rates, i.e. nobody? No, fucking not. Like, yeah, it's just beyond. And a lot of people just can't accept that. And if you can't accept that, you're going to really struggle. You're going to really fucking struggle. Because I heard one person say, being a professional trader is just being a professional loser. Like, you've got to learn how to lose. And you've got to keep your losses small. The other good one was you have small losses, break even, small wins, and big wins. And that's what your curve should look like. That's it. Nothing else. Shouldn't have big losses. Maybe FTX kind of aside. But I just, talking about normal trading here. Like, yeah. That's it. Yeah, sorry. It's just a proper chat. I mean, the thing is I can't sit here and, say, here's a good trade setup. We've got CPI tomorrow. We've just had one of the most volatile, moves that we've seen in fucking ages, right? Since the whole 3AC capitulation. I tweeted yesterday that I'm drawing boxes or lines on charts, and you have no power here. And I genuinely believe that to be the case in the next 48 hours. Then maybe if we start seeing a bit of death and volatility, and then we start seeing a bit of sideways action, we might start seeing the odd coin start moving by itself. So candidates for this are probably Sol, not Sol, sorry, Doge, as an example. And that's when you might start thinking about, okay, so what are some kind of reasonable levels to define your risk and to define your trade thesis and a validation, right? So right here, right now, am I going to just yeet long this on kind of a breakout? Probably not, with everything going on. But you do have the confluence of low time frame strength, good rotation, and clearly it looks like it's trying to move. And I do like whoever said it in the chat earlier, the ultimate clown theory of this leg is that Doge just fucking does something stupid like that. That would just make it ultimate clown world. Trade feces. No. For nuggets of knowledge, then you hold my hand through trades. Yeah, I mean, I like to think that's kind of what I do, and I just talk through my thinking. I talk through my positioning and my view on the market, which just gives you guys an understanding of how I'm looking at it and how I'm going to play the next couple of days. If I spoon feed trade ideas, quite often my trade ideas and my plans are very different to what I actually end up executing. And the reason is that, I had alerts here, for example. Let's go for sushi. Sushi's one that I played quite a lot on the way up. I could have probably just held my first long and made just as much. But I had an alert here, and all I was saying is, if we get to this level and we see a bounce, we see some form of consolidation, I want to see a quick bounce here. So get the alert, get it on my radar. I'll have a peep at it. If it gets some juice behind it on low time frame, and we start moving up, quite happy to join a move, to join a bounce. I'm not going to just target new highs, but I'm going to be conscious that from a higher time frame perspective, we've got this kind of market structure, and if it's going to hold a bullish market structure at this kind of level, then that's probably a good signal that it's going to be like the next leg up, right? So all of that kind of stuff is wonderful, but when the alert triggers and you look at the reaction or lack of reaction, I'm not taking a position there. So yeah, it's quite hard, I think, to do it all, or at least the way I like to trade, to do it all up front. And just to be like, if coin go there, me buy, it go up. Oh look, I'm the best ever. It's like, no, I'm probably on low time frame watching that. Yes, I might have planned it out before, but building a so long right now. Oh, you're doing the kind of hedge play between the exchanges. Yeah, okay. Did they shoot up just before the last dump a while back? Yeah, probably. Yeah, so 1 billion trader, that's pretty much what I do. If you look at my profile on Twitter and all that kind of wonderful stuff, it's all about spaghetti. Do you trade coin groups like fan tokens? I don't trade the fan tokens because I've got fuck all clue what's going on in terms of sports generally. I like to gamble every now and again on the old horsies, but I will play sector rotations. So, for example, if DeFi, for some reason is flavor of the month, or CHZ, strong narrative, then I'm quite happy to play narratives. Because we had the layer 1 trade for a bit, didn't we? Phone, all that kind of wonderful stuff. FTM1, Atom, and Near. So yeah, I traded that narrative. But yeah, is there any questions? What's my favourite spaghetti dish? Not a mad fan of pasta, to be honest, mate. Not a mad fan. Yeah, if anyone's got any other questions or anything like that, hit me up. Might leave it there. Is there any other coin you like? Yeah, the thing is that I like quite a lot of coins, and I do share some of them on Twitter. But as someone in the chat sort of said, oh, I'm down 50% on it, it's like, this is where your personal risk definition comes into it. Like, I've got bags of different coins that I'm happy to hold for years. They're almost kind of written off to me. So I think you always have to check your own risk profile, and if you can't stomach a 50% drawdown on any coin, then manage your risk, basically. Favorite food beside Twix? Steak. Going to zero. It's all going to zero. What about the Omega Sol unlocked of tomorrow? I don't know. No idea. I mean, you're asking me whether something that has been publicly, paraded around Twitter, and it's like, you don't have an edge there, do you? Like, what do you know that someone else doesn't know? Absolutely fuck all about that particular thing, about the unlock. Like, you don't have an edge because you know that there's a big unlock, right? So, it's already down 60%. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, you're also playing against people who have got, huge amounts of money, potentially, behind them. That they can potentially still, you know, cause some fucking carnage, run a load of stops, and cue Arthur, I'm a businessman, not a priest. .jpg. Am I going to buy ETH? Well, it's deflationary now. We've burnt 85 Ethereum. So, yeah, no, I genuinely think that ETH is great. I mean, if you look at everything that's built on ETH, like, fuck me. Like, you can't say that ETH is failing by any stretch of the imagination. Thoughts on Forex trading? I mean, I don't do it personally, so my thoughts are kind of null and void on the matter. Nano, man, I haven't really looked at Nano for forever. Yeah, fuck all. Edge is gone. Yeah, I'm not being mean. Just, do you think if coins have reverted below previous bull run, do you think there is no future for most of them as a correction below a previous low? It's not a good sign of momentum. I think it's naive to kind of think that everything works in that way, and that we're basically trying to compare cycles where this has probably been the most explosive crypto cycle that we'll ever have, in my opinion, with a combination of, you know, global macro events such as COVID, everyone's locked in their house, finding out about these wonderful cryptocurrencies, lack of regulation, the first real wave of loads of celebrity endorsements. You know, there were a couple in 2017, but there weren't that many. You know, this is Elon, this is all over BBC News, this is all over international news everywhere, countries adopting it, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's... I don't think you're going to see that scale again. And I think what will happen is there will be about 20% of coins that are good. 20% of coins that do trend dramatically. And I think those ones will be a mix of, you know, total dog shit meme coins and will be the kind of blue chips. And anything in between is going to just have a mediocre cycle at best. Yeah, see you, grand. Yeah, that's my thought process. And Christ, we've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm going to love you and leave you all. To anyone who's really suffered throughout all of this, then I would encourage you to open up and talk to people. And yeah, fingers crossed for everyone who's got funds on FTX. And if you enjoyed the stream, I'm going to stream a little bit more actually. So I'll do the cringe influencer thing. So hit that follow and like button. Yeah. And you'll hear Michael Saylor.
There's no second best crypto asset.
We will go back to a bit more of a normal format in terms of planning out some trades. Probably next week, I guess. Maybe Monday. And I might do an indicator stream in between if that's kind of something that would interest people. Because I've got a lot of indicators, some of them public, some of them part of the group. But yeah, I've used and coded lots of indicators in the past.
There is no second best.
So
there's no second best crypto asset.
Binance had no master plan for takeover of FTX. Yeah, well, either way, it's happened. So yeah, thank you very much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out. I will leave you with the joys of BitBoy. Because I'm not sure if everyone heard that.
There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
This is not about money for me. Trying to save crypto while these...
There is no second best. There is no second best crypto asset.
This is not about money for me. This is not about money. 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 about money.